Are you ready to buy? These are some points that are important, because one of the things we've done is we've built thousands of homes, and we work with the customer to make sure that it's right for them. I enjoy working with the customer, especially when they come in and maybe they thought they were going to go one way on a mortgage, and I showed them a different way, and it might have allowed them to buy another $30,000 worth of house for the same monthly payment. But these are important things, obviously, to buy. Do you have a steady income? Have you paid your bills? Have you been able to pay your rent on time? Because you don't want to get yourself on a mortgage. Obviously, one of the benefits of renting is it's a short-term agreement. Usually they're a one-year lease. In a mortgage, you're committing to 30 years. Do you have low to medium debt? Certainly, the bank's going to make sure of that, especially today. You know, there was a time we kid around in the industry, and they say back in like 1987, 88, and then about 2005, 4, 5, 6, they'd say, geez, if you had a pulse, you got a mortgage. Well, we're a long ways from that. They're going to make sure that you can afford the home. Do you have cash for closing? Well, some of these programs are designed that you don't need a lot of cash, and it still means you can afford to get into the home. First-time home buyers, their biggest issues typically is the cash. So that's what these programs are all about, the grants, 7,500 savings, those type of things, zero-down programs, because you might have great credit, you might have good income, but you don't have that substantial amount to get into a home, $15,000, $20,000, $25,000. 2 months reserves, do you have the ability to make the mortgage payments? I've been in the industry, just like Bernie, long enough where there was times when I convinced people they should pay points. Anybody know what points are? They're prepaid interest on your mortgage. And we don't usually use them much anymore because the interest rates are so low, but there was a time when people actually, usually their second home or their third home, where they pay extra points to buy their interest rate down. Well, interest rates are so phenomenal, and they have been so fantastic, that nobody's paying those points. These rates, what Bernie was talking about, is absolutely true. And I think, even myself, I put together a slide, actually you have this in your brochure, I'll show you in a second. You don't realize how powerful 1% on a $800 principal and interest, how powerful that is. People say, I'm going to save up money. Well, the rate goes up 1%. It's amazing how much of a difference it has in your payment. The zero-down payment programs, new homes typically increase to cost per. So if you don't buy today, then what's the house going to be next year? Some people say, geez, I'm going to save up $10,000. Well, if the house goes up $10,000, you've probably lost. If the rate goes up, you've even dug a hole for yourself. Excellent opportunities available for buyers right now. All the things that we're talking about. This is kind of neat. This goes back and looks at the last, I think it is 30 years on the 30-year rate mortgage. So, I mean, there was a time, some people weren't even born, they're sitting in this room now, but back then, in 1983, 84, Bernie was talking about, the 30-year rate was 14%. I mean, if I showed you the payment on that, on a $100,000 mortgage, you'd have a heart attack. Now, obviously, it's come down, come down, come down. We're hovering here, but as the economy improves, and we've seen that the stock market's doing well, jobs are coming back, it's not perfect, and it's not going to be for a while, but that means that the federal government is going to pull back a little bit, and rates will go up, and you'll have lost your opportunity if you can't take advantage of that. So that is in your folder too. This is something I put together. This is where I kind of surprised myself, because I took an $800 principal and interest. This isn't your total payment. This is just what you're paying the bank back, principal and interest. So if we take $800 and we look at it at 4.5%, I use the 4.5 because right now we're conventional about 4.25, 4.375. Okay, so right around there. FHA is a little bit lower than that, but then it comes with mortgage insurance. So, but just a 1% move. Now, I showed you a castle here. At 1% rate difference, look how much purchasing power you drop. $17,000. So you're making the same monthly payment, the same exact payment, but you're buying $17,000 less house. So somebody says, geez, I'm not gonna buy today, I'm gonna wait because I'm gonna save up, or I'm gonna pay this off. If you can do it, obviously, if all the other things work, buy now, because that's how powerful that rate is. And then when you take it 6.5, some people, young people I think today, you know, if you're under 30 years old and you see 6.5, like, what's that? You know, 6.5, that's ridiculous. Well, this was a steal just a little while ago. When your friends were buying houses and they got the credit, the federal government was giving the first home buyer credit, or the $7,500, then it went to $8,000. This was the rate. That's what they were borrowing. So as the economy improves, we're going to get to this rate. And this is what that same monthly payment's going to buy you. And you've probably looked around at houses. Even $10,000 is a huge difference in what you're buying. Huge difference. So when you talk all the way down here to 6.5, or we might see in the next few years, we'd be buying $126,000 on mortgage instead of $157,000. So